In the meantime, though, the human rights lawyer is demanding a review of new judicial filing fees which come into effect this month. Francis Susu says the new fees are too prohibitive and could make justice too expensive for many Ghanaians. The fee for filing a notice of appeal against the final judgment at the Court of Appeal, for instance, jumped from 25 Ghana cedis to 100 Ghana cedis. The fee for conducting a search at the Supreme Court will also now cost 50 Ghana cedis, up from 5 Ghana cedis. Speaking on Joy News' human rights program, Ice Rights, Francis Susu warned the increases could deny people access to justice.
Lawyers take instructions from clients, and for every good firm, there is a disbursement account into which a client is required to pay monies which will be used to do his case. You know, for example, going to court, swearing affidavit, doing official searches, attaching exhibits, and all these things. These are monies that the client is required to pay, so the lawyer can rely on to do the case of the client. So obviously, if at first you used to pay a disbursement of, say, 500 Ghana cedis or 1,000 Ghana cedis until maybe for every month or for every 3 months or maybe for a quarter or something, obviously it is going to increase. So the increments, you know, in the court charges and the fees, by all means, is going to put burden on the poor litigant, the one who comes to court to seek justice.
So walk us through the process. Say I feel my right has been violated, or I feel I have a case against you, for instance, and so I decide I think the courts will be the best place for me to seek justice. Now I know that there's been some review of the court fees. What does it mean for me, the individual? Does it mean even before I start the court process, I must make sure, for instance, we're told that if you're filing an appeal against the final judgment decision, it's now 100 cedis from 25 Ghana cedis. So what exactly does it mean? Walk us through the process.
Well, it means that if you are an individual whose right has been abused, who wants some justice from the court, of course, the first thing that you would have to do is to go through the burden of finding a lawyer whom you are going to pay some consultation fee to. That's the beginning. After paying that consultation fee, depending on the quantum of the kind of damage you've suffered that you seek the court to compensate you for, you are going to pay a percentage of that money. A while ago, I was having a conversation with one of our senior counsels who was telling me that it was, I think, an estate matter or so, where the estate was worth about 300,000 Ghana cedis. They needed to pay as a fee or the tax on it 10,000 Ghana cedis. You know, remember
before
that,
they can get access to the estate.
Before they can get, I mean, they can actually file their case in relation to that estate. You know, and remember that most times, at the time people come to court, they are already in distress.
Yeah.
Maybe it may be a situation where the person has lost their husband or lost somebody, and they've used money for funeral and things, and they are now trying to gather the estate. So if the person, say the man has one house and maybe a couple of cars, and maybe the house is located in quite prime area, and even not even prime, now you can always have about 4 or 5 bedroom house that may cost about 300,000 Ghana cedis. So with because you were living with your husband in that house and he's no more, you would need to cough up that 10,000 for the purpose of filing, and just not the fact 10,000. Remember, you have to pay your consultation fees. You have to pay the TNT for the lawyers and all that. It's just a tax on the amount, you know, the estate that you are paying. So you would realize that these increments are so burdensome. Honestly, I am begging the Rules of Court Committee. They have a right under the Constitution, Article 156, you know, to continually come up with rules to regulate, you know, court processes, court fees, and so on and so forth. And they have rightfully exercised that power to come up with this variations and amendments, of our fees. But honestly, it is too much. Ask any lawyer who is going about to do filing, it is just too much. And I'm just thinking about not just, if in Accra here we are complaining, then go back to the villages, go to the circuit courts and go to the magistrate courts where people, in these rural poor areas would seek justice by way of going to file various processes. How can they afford? We are going to deny many more people we are going to deny them access to justice because simply they will not have the means to do those filings.
You're watching Joy News Desk. Be a part of the broadcast. Share your thoughts with us on social media, facebook.com/Joy News, on TV or Kimini Nyamani Amano. I tweet at Kimini or at Joy News on TV. I'll be right back with more. Don't go away.